stand with us for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Stroop.
Bow your heads with me. Dear Heavenly Father, I praise you for the sun. I praise you for the safety. I praise you for the glory you bestow upon us every day. Thank you for protecting us during the storms. Please, please help our neighbors recover from all of these terrible storms that they've endured. Lord, please continue to watch over our farmers as they try and plant in fields. Lord, please watch over our children as they're coming out of school for the summer break. They need you, and we do too. Your guidance on our meeting tonight. May everything be according to your will. In your name, amen.
Amen. Please let the record show that all three commissioners are present, along with Attorney Drew Porter and, of course, the auditor's office, Lisa and Julie. Have you all had, adopted, we'll have the interlocals here, so that'll be fine. Have you guys had an opportunity to read the agenda? Have anything to add? Make a motion.
Yes, we were requested a few weeks back to make a proclamation for EMS Week, and they are here, I believe, so can we please add that?
Under B, new business B.
I have repeal of local ordinances on the agenda that I received in my email.
Oh, I printed new ones.
New ones, okay, that's not the one that was sent, so. Okay, so there's a new agenda?
It should be on the packet that
I don't have a packet, I printed mine off before I left. Okay.
they gave it to me Monday.
Okay, hold on, I gotta review it. Gave it to you Monday, what do you mean?
EMS gave it to me Monday.
They sent it 2 weeks ago. Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, looks good to me.
Okay, make a motion to approve the agenda.
I second.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. We have an opportunity to review the minutes from the May 6, 2025 meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, make a motion to approve the minutes from May 26.
I second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0. We actually do have an appointment, but our next one is Tammy Yoakum. Tammy, if you come up to from the PIBO board.
I'm Tammy Yoakum, and I'm here on behalf of the Property Tax Assessment Board of Appeals. I've been nominated as the president because I'm the only veteran member of the board. So I have a resignation letter from Teresa Gilly. It is my sincerest regret that I resigned my position from the Property Tax Board of Appeals. While I understand that the meetings were held for 2 to 3 weeks consecutively, I didn't realize that we meet during the day. I can meet in the evening, but I'm unable to take that time off of work. Thank you, Teresa Gilly. So, as board members, we meet during the day, during assessor hours from 8:30 to 4. And for last year, what I counted up was 9 to 10 days, mostly in August and September, that we meet. And so whoever is appointed to take her place needs to have availability to meet during the daytime hours for up to 2 or 3 weeks, depending on how many appeals we get. Also, this person will need to be a Democrat because the other 2 board members are Republican. And the position needs to be filled as soon as possible because we do have exempts that we need to hear already.
Right. Just out of curiosity, how many appeals did we have last year? Or do you, I'm asking to get in that Wayback Machine.
I don't count them. I go by days.
Right, okay.
How many days we meet.
Okay.
We usually we schedule them for every 15 minutes minus a lunch hour. So every 15 minutes from 9 until 4 for 9 days.
Okay.
And that's just that's basically just the taxpayers, not the exempts, that they're a separate deal, so.
Okay, all right, all right.
Do what? It's interesting you ask her that, because, and thank you, Tammy, for being a great appointment for many years and serving and notifying us. Polled counties around us, multiple our size, smaller, larger. By the way, our adjoining county has had 0 for years. Our Davies, the same county, has maybe 1 this year. Another county to north of us, same size, has maybe 8. So it would be nice if our assessor would work with the taxpayers to find resolution like the other counties in Indiana do. Thank you. We do have an appointment. Once I found it on our agenda last Friday, I started researching voter logs. We do have, I do want to make clear that there is laws around the individual that serves, not just political subdivision. Senate Enrolled Act 187 did change this year how that individual is to be appointed. First of all, they're tiered terms now. They're not one-year terms, but they really, really, really are supposed to be a level 1 or level 2 assessor in Indiana. If we can't provide that, if there isn't an individual that meets that rule, they still need to have knowledge in property valuation assessment. So I did some digging. I did find some individuals that were previous township board members that also held, they also did valuation. So I think I'll circulate that, and if we can get this decided by the next meeting.
That'd be great, thank you. Okay, Knox County EMS Week.
Wait, appointments. I did have, and I mentioned at the last meeting, I had 2 that were removed. Are they not going to be added again? Yes, the invasive species and the weed control board. I'm not asking you. I mean, they were removed. Okay.
I took them off because it gets repealed, there's no point.
Okay. Well, I would like them placed back on. I mean, they can be removed again.
Okay. Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Good evening.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
How about you guys? So I'm here on behalf of Good Samaritan Hospital EMS for EMS Week, May 18th through the 24th of this year. You guys had asked for some statistics.
Yes.
Some just what's going on. Roughly over the last year, we've been averaging about 500 responses per month. Transports to Good Sam have been averaging anywhere from approximately 280 to 300, and then from GSH, we've had starting out a higher number, but it's been dropping down. We're now down to maintaining about 88 to 90 runs out of GSH. This week we had Community Safety Night, starting with Monday night. We had a car seat inspection checkpoint. It was open to the public. Today we actually performed a Certified Emergency Vehicle Operations course recertification at Vincennes University. We had that open to both EMS professionals and the local fire departments. Tomorrow we're going to be hosting a mobile simulation lab that's open to both EMS and our local fire partners, sponsored by Vigilus Academy. And then Thursday we're going to be hosting Stop the Bleed training, which is open to the public in the Hetty Center, 4 p.m. And then we're going to end our week with our cookout, our annual cookout at 12 noon.
Okay, great. And of course, this is EMS Week, and I believe, Drew, you have a proclamation to read?
Yes, this would be EMS Week proclamation to designate the week of May 18th to 24th, 2025 as an Emergency Medical Services Week. Whereas emergency medical services is a vital public service, and whereas the members of emergency medical services teams are ready to provide life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And whereas access to quality emergency care dramatically improves the survival and recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness or injury. And whereas emergency medical services fills healthcare gaps by providing important out-of-hospital care, including preventative medicine, follow-up care, and access to telemedicine. And whereas the emergency medical services system consists of first responders, emergency medical technicians, paramedics, emergency medical dispatchers, firefighters, police officers, educators, administrators, pre-hospital nurses, emergency physicians, trained members of the public, and other out-of-hospital medical care providers. And whereas the members of emergency medical services teams, whether career or volunteer, engage in thousands of hours of specialized training and continuing education to enhance their life-saving skills. And whereas it is appropriate to recognize the value and the accomplishments of emergency medical services providers by designating the Emergency Medical Services Week. Now therefore, we, the Knox County Board of Commissioners, in recognition of this event, do hereby proclaim the week of May 18th through the 24th, 2025 as Emergency Medical Services Week. The 51st anniversary of EMS Week theme is EMS Week, We Care for Everyone. We encourage the community to observe this week with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities in honor of the EMS profession and the essential service it provides.
Thank you. Ms. Streeter, of course, sits on our EMS committee, and I know she fills us in quite frequently of some of the things that are going on, so.
Well, so EMS in Knox County is different now than it's ever looked before, and I want to publicly praise the partnership that we have with Good Samaritan. Our director back behind you with you as his next in line for the services that are rendered to everyone in this community, just like the statement says, doesn't matter who it is, we're there, we care. One of the most difficult challenges of any job in the world. So we thank you, and we're glad to have quality, world-class staff. The services that are provided are within the run times would blow everyone out of the water. The quality is unbelievable, and it's just, I'm so proud. Thank you.
Do anything.
Thank you for what you do.
Yeah, you guys have really exceeded those expectations greatly. And of course, those vehicles, you got a great plan going with those, and we truly thank you for everything that you and your staff do day in and day out.
I'll pass it on. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to C. Make a motion to read. This is second and third reading ordinance 2025-4, repealing ordinance number 11-2028 relating to sale to invasive species.
I made a motion. I second.
Oh, you second? Okay.
Just a question
Yes.
before we move further. Is there a reason why it's second and third?
We typically do second and third on full approval, but you can do
Just curious.
second. Yeah. I mean, it's up to you guys.
I mean, considering the way the first meeting went, just curious.
Would you like to do second and then third?
It, again, we're dealing with such a magnitude. I was just asking if that's what we're doing.
We're doing second and third reading. Motion and a second. Drew, if you would, please.
Ordinance of the Knox County Board of Commissioners repealing ordinance number 11-2018, whereas the Knox County Board of Commissioners approved ordinance number 11-2018 on August 7th, 2018, whereas ordinance number 11-2018 was enacted pursuant to the Board of Commissioners' home rule powers to recognize the detrimental effect that invasive plant species have on Knox County agriculture, forests, natural habitats, and to animal and human health in general. Whereas ordinance number 11-2018 prohibited the sale of invasive species as defined on the Indiana Invasive Species Council list. The listed invasive species were precluded from the sale in Knox County by nurseries, retailers, grocery stores, chain stores, and any other vendor. Whereas ordinance number 11-2018 established an enforcement authority and procedure for handling violations of the ordinance. Whereas the Commissioners have powers to repeal a local ordinance by a simple majority pursuant to its home rule powers, as well as the powers granted to it under Indiana Code Section 3624. Whereas on April 18th, 2019, the state of Indiana enacted the Terrestrial Plant Rule 32 IAC 18325, precluding the sale, gift, barter, exchange, distribution, transport, or introduction of certain invasive plants in the state of Indiana. The Indiana Natural Resource Commission is responsible for enforcing the Terrestrial Plant Rule. Whereas the Knox County Board of Commissioners have determined that it is in the best interest of Knox County and the taxpayers of Knox County that the Knox County Commissioners repeal ordinance number 11/2018 in light of the Indiana Terrestrial Plant Rule. Now therefore be it ordained by the County Board of Commissioners of Knox County, Indiana, the following: that ordinance number 11/2018 is hereby repealed. Section 2, that any portion of it, any prior ordinance in conflict with the provisions of this ordinance are hereby repealed. Section 3, that this ordinance does not repeal, preempt, void, or preclude any state or federal laws related to the regulation of invasive species. Section 4, this ordinance shall be in effect from and after its passage according to law.
Comment?
Again, I don't know why this is on our agenda. I think the last business meeting, as well as the dozen plus phone calls, emails that I've received, both of these, I'll speak on behalf, are not good for our community, not good for our agriculture, not good for our forests, our natural habitats, human health in general. We did these for reasons, and the economic harm as opposed to what is being called as a savings is not even, it's not real in my opinion. So I ask that these not be passed, and we continue to be the leader, first of all, in the state of the eradication of invasive species in Knox County, and we continue partnering with our agriculture partners at Soil and Water to make sure that noxious weeds are maintained and in and around our farms and our community. And I also want to make comment that our Knox County Council supports the same in full. They passed a resolution last week.
Anything? Okay. So. Okay, thank you. Make a motion to approve ordinance 2025-4.
A second.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign.
No.
Carries 2 to 1. Make a motion to read on second and third reading 2025-5, repealing ordinance 6-1986.
A second.
Ordinance number 2025-5, an ordinance of the Knox County Board of Commissioners repealing ordinance number 6/1986. Whereas the Knox County Board of Commissioners approved ordinance number 6/1986 on July 7th, 1986. Whereas ordinance number 6/1986 was enacted pursuant to Indiana Code Section 36710.1-3 to establish a county weed control board to contain defined noxious weeds within Knox County. Whereas ordinance number 6/1986 permitted the county weed control board to issue notices to property owners within Knox County for removal of noxious weeds on his or her property. Whereas ordinance number 6/1986 set forth penalties to enforce its provisions. Whereas the Commissioners have powers to repeal a local ordinance by a simple majority pursuant to its home rule powers, as well as powers granted to it under Indiana Code Section 3624. Whereas the Knox County Board of Commissioners have determined that it is in the best interest of Knox County and the taxpayers of Knox County that the Knox County Commissioners repeal ordinance number 6/1986. Now therefore be it ordained by the Knox County Board of Commissioners, Indiana, the following: Section 1, that ordinance number 6/1986 is hereby repealed. Section 2, that any portion of any prior ordinances in conflict with the provisions of this ordinance are hereby repealed. Section 3, that this ordinance does not repeal, preempt, void, or preclude any state or federal laws related to the regulation of noxious weeds. Section 4, this ordinance shall be in effect and after its passage according to law.
Comment?
exactly same comment, except adding, I'm not sure why we're digging into ordinances from 1986, other than we have reached a point 3 years after investing as a county into the eradication of noxious weeds, and then board appointments were placed forth, and now we're going to repeal it for other reasons I'm not been made aware of. I would like to know why, other than I simply made the request, and what I'm yet to hear, other than very minimal cost. We had a room full of the agriculture community here to stand in favor of keeping this. Again, I don't know if it's because it's in state right-of-ways. There is no real reason we're going on to people's property or any other rhetoric like that I've heard. This is no different than the unsafe building board and the other board, that same board that hears about rank vegetation, trash, tires on people's property. We pay Mike McKiska to manage it. It is no different. We are just doing this on behalf of our agricultural community with the same intent. So again, I ask this not be repealed, and we continue to support our agriculture, our forests, our habitats that are natural, and all human health in general for the purposes of eradication of noxious weeds. Again, the Knox County Council in whole supported this, continuing this ordinance, and I'm not sure why we would not continue. It's nonsense.
Make a motion to approve ordinance 25-5.
I second.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All
Aye.
opposed, same sign.
No.
Motion carries 2-1. Claims. Have you all had the opportunity to read the claims?
I did.
Okay. Make a motion to approve claims.
I second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carries 3-0. Payroll. Have you had a chance to read over the payroll?
No, it's the auditor
Okay.
presented it.
Yep.
So
Make a motion to approve payroll.
I second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. Justice Campus. I have nothing on Justice Campus. Anyone?
I don't have anything.
Nope. We do have 3 code compliance interlocals to sign, so I'd make a motion to approve all 3 at the same time. Those code compliances for Oaktown, Edwardsport, and Sanborn.
And I want to make comment, they're for weeds and rank vegetation.
you.
They're for solid waste for all 3 communities.
Thank you.
You're
Make a
welcome.
motion.
I second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. I do not have anything on Ready 2.0 or 2.1. Does anyone else have anything?
I'm not on that board, no.
Okay. The Emergency Management Operations Center, I did have a chance to talk with Vaughn earlier today. The gas is being rerouted. We have a meeting next week with Duke Energy, and the internet is being relocated as well. So that should be all back together again. I believe that the intent is to have it out to bid. If they didn't have a chance today, it'll be tomorrow. So that should be out to bid probably tomorrow. That's all I have on that. And I don't have anything on the Judicial Center. Okay, public comment. Resolution 2020-2. If anyone would like to come to the podium, yeah, now. 2020-2. No, yeah, now's the time if you would like to come. I would just ask, turn the red button on to green, and then once you're finished, if you would, please see Lisa so she can get you on the paper.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for letting me speak.
Yes.
I was unable to make it to the last meeting, but I understand there were plenty of other people who spoke in my absence. My name's Larry Sutter. I'm was president of the Invasive Species Board until a few minutes ago. I'm also president of the Knox County SISMA group, which is stands for Knox County Invasive Species Management Area. As president of that group, I don't know how much you know about what we do, but Knox County SISMA works along with soil and water conservation all over the county. All of the parks in the state in the county of Knox, and has a lot of volunteers who go out and do invasive species removal. The public properties also, not only the parks, but other properties like Sugarloaf Mounds, Pyramid Mounds, that's actually county. The French Commons, we've been working out there this week, getting things ready for the rendezvous. But let me just say that the old adage is an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And Knox County Invasive Species Board was the ounce of prevention. What it did was prevent more invasive species from coming into the county. The county parks, the entire county, anybody who owns property knows that they have invasive species. They are just rampant. Years ago, we didn't know what invasive species were, but in the last 30, 40, 50 years, we've discovered it. And now it's gotten to the point where they're totally out of control. There is no way to get rid of them. The best we can possibly do, and we're trying to do, is to slow them down, control them. There are places like the Ellerman Farm where Kudzu just about tried to take over the farm, and they had to call. They couldn't do it themselves. Matter of fact, Tim's got senior has a scar on his leg from a machete where he was trying to take the kudzu out by himself. He had to end up calling the Indiana Department of Natural Resources in to actually treat and eliminate the kudzu, which they did after about 3 years and many different treatments. Not all the invasives are as bad as kudzu, but we work very hard on the counties and the property in Knox County to eliminate them. We've got a lot done in the parks, and they're looking much better. We have some beautiful parks, by the way. West Trails Park, Fox Ridge are as good as parks as they are in the state of Indiana. They are spectacular, and they are full of native plants because we've planted them out there to replace the invasives. So I compare invasive species to cancer. Cancer starts, you can control it if you catch it quick enough, but eventually it spreads, it can metastasize, and kill you. Well, invasive species the same way. If you don't control them, they just grow and spread and take over and kill everything in their path. And that's what we're doing to our parks and our property. And unless you're out there working on it and you see it or you have the property, you don't realize how bad it is. So again, allowing the sale of invasive species just makes it worse. It makes it harder for our group to work in the parks, the county, the landowners to try to control the invasive species on their property. And the cost is just tremendous. We have hired 3 interns for the soil and water conservation for the summer, as we did last year, and they will be working on next to nothing but invasive species along the right-of-ways, on the county roads, parks, you name it, wherever they pop up on public property. Good experience for the kids, and hopefully we'll develop some some skills there. But, I just think we're rather foolish. It's a foolish move to, by the way, all that work we do that I was talking about doesn't cost the county a penny. I mean, we are all volunteers. We spend our own money buying the herbicides, doing the work, the tools. Soil and water, they have a fund, you know, they pay their people. But Knox County SISMA is strictly volunteer and no cost to the county. So I'll just end by saying it's a very minor thing, our ordinance, that a very small way that you can help us to try to control, and help yourselves to control the invasive species in our county. So, thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak? Yes, please. Yes, please. And then also, if you would, after you're done, please see Lisa so she can get you signed in. Thank you.
Denise Eagle, Vincennes. I've been vice president and president of SISMA, Knox County SISMA. That's why I'm here. I'm also here as a private citizen. And I really don't understand your vote today. And I think all these people that stood and clapped for Ms. Streeter don't understand your vote today. And where are the people that are in favor of what you've done today? Why don't they give us an explanation? Eliminating the invasive species ordinance eliminates the issue in the minds of the community. I guess it's a continuing education problem. Every time we get a new administration, we go through the same thing. Instead of seeing this ordinance on the books, new commissioners, new council people who voted against what you're doing today, it's not on the books anymore, so it's not in their minds. We're gonna have to keep teaching them about what a big problem invasive species are to our parks, our fields, and our woods. It's too bad you didn't reach out to Knox County SISMA by coming to a meeting and finding out what the problem is. Knowledge is a good thing when having to make decisions. With our next iteration of commissioners, we'll try again to educate on what was lost here today. Institutional knowledge is important. Knee-jerk, contrary opposition to what's on the books does not promote the betterment of Knox County. Listen to your constituents opposing your objectives. Maybe they have a point. Who are these people that agree with you? I haven't seen anything in the papers about them. I think what you've done today makes no sense to anyone in this room. You know the ordinance was amended in 2021. Why not put it back to a committee if you have objections to this ordinance? What you've done shows a lack of imagination and a complete lack of leadership. Did you actually reach out to landscapers and ask them why they would want to sell plants to our neighbors that are injurious to Knox County and neighboring counties? This is a growing movement. Get on board, be a leader.
Were you wanting to speak?
Yes.
Yes, please.
So I'm Cheryl McCormick. I grew up on a farm, went to college, came back to a farm. I think that Knox County showed a very forward-looking perspective when they passed the ordinance against the invasive species back in the 1980s. We were very proud of that accomplishment. I think all one has to do is just look out their car window when they drive up and down an interstate anywhere in Indiana and see the calorie pears just coming up everywhere. Nobody planted them there. They're drowning out other native species. They provide no nutrition to our pollinators. All you hear about now is how the bees are endangered, our pollinators are endangered. Well, calorie pears are one reason, because they have pretty flowers, but they stink, and they have no nutritional value to these pollinators are very important to agriculture in Knox County. And so I, like Denise Eagle, I have to go on record as questioning your motives and your reasons for passing this ordinance to repeal our previously passed, bipartisanly supported ordinance to control invasive species. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Good evening, Ray Chattendecker. I guess I'll fire my last salvo here. This does harm to Knox County and our cause. I guess if anything good came of this, we raised a lot of awareness about invasive species through the hubbub. And we need to continue to do that. I think more and more people are realizing that these plants aren't just a nuisance or a pest, they're an existential threat. And the 20 plants that this ordinance covered that the terrestrial plant rule didn't are bad, very bad. And there's a reason they were in this ordinance. I honestly don't expect to see too many of them on the shelves of our local dealers, because I think they got the message, and regardless of what little financial harm may come to them, they understand at least. And I've yet to see one of them come forward. So, in conclusion, I know this repeal will not stand. You've chosen to be on the wrong side of history, but this will be repaired. Thank you.
Can you speak again?
Sure.
I just forgot to mention while I was up here that my husband, Ray McCormick, who left out of disgust earlier, I think we all owe him a debt of gratitude, because as Denise or someone was talking about some of our beloved county properties, Wabash Trails Park and Fox Ridge Nature Park. You may not be aware of this, but both of those were conceived by Ray McCormick. Both of those projects were the idea of Ray McCormick. They were pitched to the public, they were accepted, and any grant process, Ray took the leadership in those processes. So I guess in a way this is just a slap in the face of my husband's life work.
Yeah, I'm Troy Sweeney from Vincennes, and it's not often you encounter an issue that transcends the political and cultural divide. But in here tonight, I'm arm in arm with people that I have damn near nothing in common with politically, in no other area. And it's a mystery to me. I don't understand where the decision came from. I don't understand the motivation. I never heard it articulated, never heard it explained. So I can only assume that you have motivations that either you can't articulate or you don't feel compelled to articulate. But I can tell you the issue seems to have much more gravity and impact than you realize. Because, like I said, this does not happen very often. And I know you've moved forward with your decision, but I hope in the future, at some point, you have to reconsider and reassess what you've done here tonight.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Yes, sir.
Hi, I'm Tony Mahan, live out in Fox Ridge. Seems like doing second and third readings in back-to-back and it's kind of a controversial issue was kind of a ramrod. So it seemed like that was rammed down our throat. I don't know my Robert's Rules of Order real well, but it seems like you did the first one and then you're just, let's just do this, and you've got all these people here wanting to make a comment and you just already voted it out, so I was very disappointed in that. I think that's pretty weak. You're talking about your taxpayers and voters that you've just completely disregarded. So I hope that comes back to bite you a little bit later, because I don't appreciate that. I know how much time I've spent on winter creeper and Asian honeysuckle in my little 1 acre woods. Money, time, sweat, bruised knuckles, torn up knees, whatever, and they just come back. It seems ridiculous. And I've tried the chemicals that are expensive and they kill other stuff that I want to keep. They're talking about pollinators, talking about nature, talking about things that are invasive. Farmers have been fighting Johnson grass for years. It's impossible to get rid of. We fight other kind of stuff all the time. Time, labor, it's ridiculous. I think this was a shoddy show of, no one got an explanation. There was no explanation of why this is brought up. If a landscaping company is gonna be bankrupt over 20 plants, it's not those 20 plants, all right? We're one county out of 92. Maybe we need to encourage other counties around us. Maybe you should be talking to the other counties around us. Hey, we need to get rid of this. Form our own pocket, let it spread. This was a backward step, very short-sighted. I'm not sure. I'd love to hear an explanation. Do you have an explanation?
Well, I'll be glad to talk to you, but not in here. I'll be glad to explain it to you.
All right.
If there is no one else, okay. Our next meeting will be June 3rd, 2025 at 10 a.m. in this very chamber. Again, if there's no one else to speak, I will make a motion to adjourn.
A second.
Okay, meeting is adjourned. Thank you.